for it.
Good evening, my fellow peasants, and welcome back to another Wrestle our podcast. I am Thomas Noble at fucking Jesse. Today I am with Christian Vega.
Hello.
The king of the cruiserweights, Ellen Thomas.
Hello.
Ross Blocks.
Hello there.
And your reigning defending Wrestle Arch champion, blah blah blah, Payne Cash.
Hi.
A very ill Mason Cash.
Yeah, he's very
We also have a special guest. Where's the special guest?
Who
That
is
is a good
special
question,
guest?
though. There we go. We got the best woman in the CMU, Rebecca Helfrich.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. It is good to be here.
Seventh
It's
guest.
good to have you. The first... No. Two.
Right?
It's but as all of you can see, well, you can't see, but Peyton is very ill, so I don't know if he's going to be talking as much today. You guys can see in the title, massive news to talk about, and it's actually crazy.
Very.
CM Punk and Daniel Bryan could be on their way to AEW. That's just nuts.
It's blown up massively, those reports.
And I did some looking at it, to see where it was coming from, and it's actually really reliable sources too. So we'll see where it leads.
Feel more in Bryan's the bigger possibility, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think CM Punk, he might deliver. I think Punk will easily go to AEW. He could deliver a pipe bomb here and there, and also he could rebuild the faction with Gallows and possibly Serena Deeb.
My take on it is Daniel Bryan will be easier to sign because Punk is going to want a lot. Like, he's going to want a lot of money, a lot of freedom, a lot of creative control.
Besides,
He's going to want everything.
yeah, didn't Punk say that if he was not happy with where he was at in WWE, he wouldn't be with WWE?
I could see that.
I literally, if he doesn't get what he wants in AEW, it would not surprise me if he would walk out there either.
He did it with WWE, he could do it in AEW. Or any other promotion he goes to.
Yes, and my power just went off again. Yay.
That sucks.
Well, that's not
Good
fun.
timing, eh? Good timing, eh?
Very good timing. Yeah. But it's not confirmed yet that Punk has signed with AEW. All that reports have said that he was just in talks. That's it. But with
there
Daniel
have been
Bryan,
rumours that Daniel Bryan has already signed, apparently, but obviously they're just rumours.
and there was also the rumored date that he might return to September 22nd of this year. That was the rumored date, I believe. But who knows? It could be sooner, it could be later. But it was a little bit.
Oh, God. Actually, I
kind
don't
of
know.
expecting to go to AEW. I'm honestly not surprised with it either.
I think AEW, it's, probably should be.
When Daniel does go to AEW, what matches could you already?
I mean, Daniel Bryan is huge.
Daniel Bryan versus Christian Cage.
I don't
think we have.
This is the second power because I've had in like a month.
I would see Daniel Bryan versus Kenny Omega.
That would be an amazing match, though.
Yeah.
To go and work in Japan.
Imagine if Bryan
So-
would be the main title off of Kenny.
Oh, that would be sweet, though.
Daniel, he is such a good wrestler, though. Especially technical.
Yeah.
He is such a very good technical wrestler.
Yeah,
It
I
would be
know.
weird, though, because be called Bryan
It'd be
interviews.
Bryan
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably everything.
Yeah, because
I
WWE
would ask
trademarks that name.
the chat they say, but my powers went off, so I literally can't see anything. So if anyone
No one
can read
else
the
has
chat for me,
chatted
well,
except for Jesse.
ask the
His
chat
one
what they think
message is
about
only
this.
there.
I can't see anything. I have a power cut.
Well, Chad, what
Yay!
is your opinions on CM Punk and Daniel Bryan possibly going to AEW? Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea, and why?
If CM Punk goes there, it will be huge. Ratings will be through the roof. But I
If
don't
CM
think.
Punk returns to wrestling on TV in general, it's going to be a loud pop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll only aid you get better. I don't
Who
think
else
he
do you
can
have
help
in
them.
mind?
I don't think they'll ever be as big as WWE no matter who they sign. Like, yes, Punk will
It
bring
would
in
be
ratings.
very hard.
Punk will bring in ratings, sure he will. He will bring in a lot of like merch sales and everything. But as in the it would still
It would more.
He says good matches, Punk good because of the pipe bomb.
oh he's definitely doing a pipe bomb on WWE. That is
He
100%
will definitely do
happening
another pipe bomb.
on WWE.
If he does
He
go to
will.
WWE, which for some reason seems not likely now.
If he's in WWE, that's just gonna be weird.
Yeah. What are they going to do with Punk if he WWE?
Could
Yeah, but if Punk wins, what is he going to do with the title?
I don't know.
That's the
I
thing.
think
They need
the
to
only way you
figure
get
out what
Punk to
to do
return
with
to
Punk.
WWE, Punk wants a main event. That's literally what he
Yeah.
wants.
A WrestleMania main event. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk would most likely be that if they're going to be bringing in Punk soon.
Right.
It just depends on the timing and whoever's the
thing,
current
though.
champion.
If I've seen a lot of people say if Punk goes to a they're gonna like well that doesn't make sense. Literally the same show, just with Punk on it. What's
Right.
Yeah, nothing's going to change about it.
Yeah.
All that's going to be different. Hey, CM Punk is there.
Yeah, and it's not
It
even
takes more than just one person.
yeah. Like I don't watch AEW, right? I mean, if CM Punk joins AEW, okay, maybe I'll watch like the start. But I'm not AEW.
Get old. I mean, we've had Malik and Andrade show up in AEW, but that still hasn't gotten me to watch the show fully.
Who's even talking about
It is-
Rock right now? No one.
No one. Even when they had John Moxley, I still wasn't watching AEW at the time.
You still gotta have the story to back them up too. Just
Yeah.
Punk in AEW. That's what people are gonna want to see.
Yeah, that's what's going to matter. As
And if
soon
he-
as...
And that's the thing, though. If he does, like, if he gets a really bad storyline, people are gonna turn on Punk. They're not gonna turn on AEW. They're gonna turn on Punk.
exactly.
Yep.
It's not just a matter of, oh, he's going to show up. It's how they're going to use him, which could be more important.
And Punk's a
It depends on
really,
how the people
really...
want to use him.
CM Punk's a really hard guy to, like, convince to. Like, if he wants something, he's not going to stop until he gets it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Pretty much.
But with Daniel Bryan, I actually find that one interesting, because he was actually in contract talks with WWE also. And he apparently chose AEW.
He's apparently going to AEW, it looks like.
That's the key word here, apparently. Nothing's confirmed until it happens.
Because they're saying that Daniel Bryan and WWE are no longer in talks.
I mean,
But that doesn't mean it couldn't still happen.
I mean, if he has signed his contract, then fair enough. But if he actually hasn't signed that contract, it only takes one offer from Vince to convince him to say yes.
Right. I don't know that he has signed a contract.
Those are the rumors, but they're just rumors, so don't believe everything you read.
All it is rumors, and that's it.
Don't believe everything you read, Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse, don't believe everything you read.
Vega, what do you have to say about all this?
Yeah, Vega, you haven't said anything at all yet about the Punk and Bryan stuff. He's muted.
Even here.
Perfect! He's fucking muted.
Jason, do you have anything to say about this? I know you're currently dying, but do you have anything to say?
I mean, if he's not able to say anything, then fair enough.
Yeah, he's currently dying, so it's understandable.
He's dying.
Well, there is something going around. I had a friend that just got over some kind of bug. He had like no voice.
Yeah. It's this week in the last week in wrestling has literally just been crazy. Probably the best week in wrestling we've had in a long time.
It is. Especially with the fans returning, we're starting to get a lot more wrestlers returning as well.
Yes.
Fans returning, then you have Finn Balor, you have Goldberg, you have
John Cena, Goldberg, Keith Lee as well. We even had Cross debut on Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
Which a lot of people did not like.
Well,
and Vega's gone.
Honestly,
he's gone.
And of course, Princess Vega has to be gone.
Oh, he's gone.
I said this before, and I'll say it again. He's basically The Rock.
No, he's basically John Cena because he will turn up just once, like every blue moon. Rebecca, which one do you think is more like? If you got to sign one of them, who would you pick, Punk or Bryan? That's a tough.
I would say the more likely one would be Bryan.
Yeah,
that would be my option, Bryan.
I think it's easier to work with Daniel Bryan than it is with CM Punk.
I feel like Daniel Bryan, I feel like he's a lot more easygoing than Punk.
I think the only reason he signed with AEW, or wants to sign with AEW, is because he wants to work in Japan. And I think if WWE and New Japan, those talks didn't break down, then he might have come back to WWE.
Maybe.
Because he wants to work in Japan. So.
Because there were also those reports that there was going to be something going on with New Japan and WWE, but that apparently got turned down.
Yeah, and also, seeing that Impact having partnership with AEW, you could see Bryan and Punk on Impact. And that would be huge.
Yeah, Bryan and Punk and Impact would be huge.
That would be huge for Impact, like, genuinely.
When do you think would be the moment Impact and AEW finally go their separate ways?
I don't think it's gonna last long, you know. I think
me neither.
Impact needs AEW more than AEW needs Impact.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Once AEW gets bored of it, and once AEW are like, we don't need you anymore, they'll just kick them to the curb. It actually wouldn't surprise me if once Kenny Omega loses the title, They're done. So what's the point in
Possibly.
staying?
Yeah, I wouldn't be
What's
surprised.
the point in staying? You know?
And then Impact's going to get less views.
Less views than they're having now. They're not even getting that many views now. They have like Kenny Omega on their show.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Now you
I
just
feel
got to get
still
Roman
overpowered.
Reigns to bump up the views.
Literally, can you imagine CM Punk against Roman Reigns?
That would be crazy.
That would definitely be bigger than CM Punk against
Imagine
Kenny
if
Omega.
Roman Reigns went to collect every WWE title belt, and then as soon as Reigns has all of them, he goes up against Kenny Omega to see who the real belt collector is.
That would be crazy.
Just imagine Roman Reigns
Yeah.
on AEW anyway. He just walks in and he's like, this is my yard now.
If that does happen, the winner has to be Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much a joke.
Yeah.
Yup.
Don Callis basically ruined him.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. Don Callis is a huge pussy when it comes to be a manager.
Kenny Omega before, he was good, but now with the AEW
Oh my god, the power
title,
back.
hooray.
I'm gonna face for a minute.
I
I'm gonna
enjoyed
face
his
for a minute because I need
character
to
when
put my
they
phone inside.
first started, and now it's just kind of started turning me off. Like,
See, AEW doesn't excite me, and CM Punk doesn't excite me. Like, if you look at that AEW roster, it's mostly old WWE guys, so you know what you're gonna get from them. The only difference
Right.
is
WWE 2.0.
the only difference is they're gonna face different people. You know, like
It's almost
Jericho,
like
for
a
example.
WWE 2.0.
Why the hell is Chris Jericho still wrestling?
Didn't he already surpass 30 years of wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah, literally.
Is he
Once he went to
trying to
AEW,
outperform The Undertaker or something?
No.
he's let himself go. You know, Jericho has. He's let himself go.
When do you think Jericho's actually going to retire?
When the money stops.
Yeah, probably, you know.
I genuinely think he's only doing it for the money.
which he really, realistically, he probably wouldn't even need to do. If you think about it, if he's been smart.
It wouldn't surprise me if once his contract with AEW ends, if he gets an offer from WWE with a lot of money, it wouldn't surprise me if he went back there.
No, it would not surprise
Yeah.
me either.
But
Not at
one
all.
person I think won't go back to WWE is John Moxley, and I bet he's probably regretting leaving now because he's doing absolutely nothing.
Ever since he lost the AEW title, he pretty much became a jobber.
Yes, and he's always going to be a
Ever since he
jobber.
lost ever since he lost the IWGP United States title to Archer, he's nothing.
What's he going to do now?
That's a good
Possibly
question.
nothing.
Have we ever had a scenario where an AEW star left that show to go to WWE?
I don't think we
I
have.
don't think we have. I don't think we've ever had an AEW superstar leave that company to go to WWE.
It was Priscilla Kelly at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was AEW at first, but now she's in WWE.
Oh.
Oh.
She was from AEW to NXT, apparently.
So she's currently in NXT.
Okay,
Correct.
that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to be honest. I'm not looking at the YouTube chat right now because I'm downstairs doing something. Yes, I took everyone downstairs with me just like Aled does. So I have no idea what's happening, if anything's happening. Yeah, but if CM Punk was to go to AEW, yeah, the fan reaction would be loud, but it just depends on what AEW is going to do with Punk and if Punk's going to allow that stuff to happen to him. If he
haven't-
doesn't like it, then he's not going to stay.
I just haven't seen the storylines in AEW, to be honest, to really intrigue me.
Yeah. I think that's why you would prefer having Daniel Bryan sign to AEW, because I feel like he would be more open and more okay doing certain stuff in AEW with other wrestlers, like putting them over and such. Bryan wanted to do, like, I think he said he wanted to put wrestlers
Which
over
at
him.
this point in his career, that's kind of where he should probably be,
Because he's already accomplished almost everything.
Right.
He's done just about everything in his career. The only thing that didn't happen is win the Royal Rumble, which we thought was going to happen earlier this year.
And
Yeah,
But either way, his career was still amazing.
it is.
I don't know if there's anyone else who would have a career just like Daniel Bryan. Like, from being the Miz's rookie in NXT to what he is now.
It takes kind of having that particular route. Like, not everybody is going to be in a position to have that, where he had to fight that adversity where everybody was telling him, you can't do this, you will never make it. And not
Yeah.
everybody is in a position where they're going to be told that to be able to have that story.
Yeah, and Daniel Bryan's career perfectly reflected that. Like, his nose and yes stuff, his leader of the yes movement gimmick was perfect. It really fit him very well, which is why he succeeded, and it became such a huge hit in WWE right now. Daniel Bryan is probably just going to be a big moneymaker for wherever he goes. He's going to be big no matter wherever he signs.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yep.
Yeah, but then again with CM Punk, he's a little bit kind of the opposite of Daniel Bryan, I guess.
I think he's probably got more of a mindset of where he wants to go, and he's, like you said, is going to be harder to work with storyline wise and what they might want him to do. He would be one of those, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, because if they do something big for CM Punk and they struggle to find out what to do next with him, then what could be the point? Like, they do something for CM Punk, they don't know what to do with him next. That's something important when you're making a superstar. It's not just finding a way to making him to the top. It's also how to continuously keep him on the top and not just have him up there once and then finally drop him back down. You got to keep a superstar's momentum going.
And it also takes like doing different things too at different times and adding twists and turns to it. And it helps when you have a superstar with different ideas and willing to change when the time comes that a change is needed.
Yeah. Hey, Thomas, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
If you were to have your own wrestling promotion and you had the choice to sign either Daniel Bryan or CM Punk, who would you do and why?
I say Daniel Bryan because he definitely has more talent and he's more technical than Punk.
Aled's back.
Yay!
Did your power go out again?
No, the power went off, but we were having trouble reconnecting the Wi-Fi, so I had to use my data, and then my data ended. And now the power's back on, so now the Wi-Fi is fine again, so I'm back.
That's good. We were just talking about the differences, how Daniel Bryan and Punk would be signed to a wrestling show, and if not, they could do something with Punk or Bryan to keep their momentum going or something.
I think what I would do is, obviously, if you have Punk, he's instantly going to go into the main event just because of his name value.
Yeah.
I would put Daniel Bryan in, like, the mid-card. Do they have a mid-card title in AEW?
Would it technically be the TNT title?
Yeah,
I think it would be the TNT title.
I think I'd put Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan like there, and then have him face a lot of different people, build him up, and then in the end, hell, it could even be Daniel Bryan and Punk for the title.
Daniel Bryan and Punk for the TNT title?
No, for the main title
AEW
at some
title.
point.
Punk and Bryan, if they do manage to go to the same promotion, them having a match together would probably be a huge hit.
That's the thing, though. If both of them go there, they have to have completely different debuts and completely different shows.
Yeah,
I agree.
You can't have both of them debut on the same show.
that's just going to be weird. Just let each one have their time to get built up, and then that's probably when you have the other superstar debut. Like, give them
Right.
time to build themselves up one at a time. That's probably the best way to do it.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, though. I wonder if there would be anyone else that AEW would like to sign. They recently signed Thunder Rosa, I believe.
Yeah, on her birthday.
And that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a favorite AEW signing of the year so far? A favorite AEW signing this year?
Well, for me, I would say it would be. Who was this goddamn name again? Brian Cage, I believe.
Brian Cage?
Yeah,
You
ever
said
since he
Brian-
made his AEW debut at Double or Nothing in that ladder match.
Mm-hmm. Want to know a debut that I was hyped for but was ruined so badly?
Why?
Leo Rush. Like,
Yes.
as soon as he made the debut, the crowd went crazy, but they barely had him in the ring for that long. And it was right before he retired, too. Didn't last that long, and it felt pretty weak.
Yeah, I would agree.
I feel like they probably could have had him for a lot longer. Maybe in the final 5 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely put Leo Rush in the final 5 or 4. Make him seem valuable. But another debut I really liked was Ethan Page.
Yeah,
I think it was at Revolution.
that was good.
Ethan Page coming in from Impact, that was massive. What other big AEW signings were there? I can't even remember. Yeah, there wasn't that many. Yeah, Christian Cage, that was one.
Well, and if they did more with some of them, but they just, I don't know, none of them have really jumped out at me. Like,
Yeah, honestly. Christian Cage, when he came out, people were excited at first, but then again, people were unsure of it.
well, and I think they just haven't really truly done anything with it.
Yeah. At first, it seemed like they were going to put him for the AEW title, but it looks like they went in a different direction. Instead, they had him feud with Matt Hardy.
I don't know why.
And the lead's back again.
His internet might crash again.
Lead's not having it today.
I honestly think that was a better idea not to have him go for the AEW title. I don't think he needs to be challenging for a title right now. He should be more in that role of trying to put someone else over.
Yeah, I feel like Christian's already big enough. I feel like he doesn't need to go for the AEW World Title.
Right.
I don't know why he signed with him. Like, genuinely, I have no idea.
Yeah, I would have liked to have him stick in WWE and team up with Edge again.
That would have been good.
It would have been amazing. And imagine if they had a story where Edge turned on Christian and aligned himself with Randy.
Oh. Yes, that would have been good.
You know what I would have done? I would have had Ken Christian turns on Edge and goes for the title himself.
Imagine if we had Edge and Christian versus RK Bro.
Oh,
That would be freaking cool.
it would have.
It would be good. It would probably be at SummerSlam though, or WrestleMania. I don't know. I would like it. I would like to see it for the tag titles. The thing is, who would have the titles first?
Would you say?
Bro.
Say. I don't know if you guys covered this when I was having Wi-Fi problems, but would you say if Punk went to AEW, he would be their biggest signing?
I mean, he's a huge name. A lot of people talk about. I feel like he could probably be up there with maybe John Moxley, maybe.
Right.
I genuinely think, just because no one expected it to happen, Jericho was the biggest signing.
Yeah, Jericho. So far.
It's just because no one expected it to happen.
No.
And the fact that he was like, basically, he had two contracts. He had one from WWE and he had one from AEW. The fact he picked AEW is also massive after being in WWE for so long. And then he won the world title. Like, was he the first champion? Jericho?
Yeah,
I think he was, wasn't he?
I believe so.
He was the inaugural.
Yes.
Do you genuinely think that was in his contract? Like, you sign for us, you'll be the first champion? I do.
No idea.
Probably.
I mean, Sting's a big signing too.
Yeah, Sting. He was a huge signing. When did he debut? Was it what was it? Winter is Coming or something?
I think so.
I do not even remember when Sting debuted in AEW.
By the way, I'm having so many Wi-Fi problems, so if I end up leaving, it's because of my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it was Winter is Coming when Sting debuted in AEW. Yeah, and you think about all those big signings, and then you have the potential of Daniel Bryan and CM Punk being signed. And another thing is, if as soon as you sign them, as soon as Punk or Bryan debut, who would they have their first rivalry with? That's something you got to think about.
Right.
Like, who would be the best person to start a rivalry with Daniel Bryan to begin their career? When it comes to Daniel Bryan, I'm actually not sure. What if you put him against someone like Pac?
See, and that would work good. I could see that being a good view.
Yeah, or put him against like Kenny Omega or one of the Young Bucks.
Kenny Omega, I feel like that for Daniel Bryan would probably be too soon.
Yeah, I would agree.
What about Orange Cassidy?
Nah, I don't think so.
Probably Pac then.
Cody?
Probably Pac.
Yeah, I think maybe Pac would be a good decision.
I think Cody.
Cody Rhodes?
Oh,
Yep.
that's an interesting
Oh.
idea.
Actually, yeah, that does seem pretty interesting. Or what if we had something between Daniel Bryan and Darby Allin?
That could be good too.
Possibly
Bryan and
Brian,
Allin.
possibly Brian versus Jericho.
Mm,
I just don't know what storyline you'd use to get there, though.
yeah, I don't think you start having a feud with Bryan and Jericho. I don't think that's the feud you start with Daniel Bryan. Probably someone like Pac or Cody. I think those are two that you can start a feud with Daniel Bryan to begin his career.
Yeah.
But for CM Punk, if he does go to AEW, who could you put him up against?
Lance Archer.
I guess. What about Ethan Page?
Nah.
Not Ethan.
Nope.
Yeah, CM Punk is a tough one because it would depend on if he would want it to happen or not.
Right. Because he's not gonna start anything if it's not what he wants to do.
Yeah, he'll only do it if he wants to do it. Imagine if Punk was like, I want to be the owner of AEW or I quit. Imagine if Punk was like that. I mean, it is kind of potential. It could be a thing that happens. And Alette is still having Wi-Fi difficulties. I feel like Daniel Bryan would be the best to start rivalries with. Because he's more chill and more open to ideas.
Right.
He would be the best. Yeah. If you were to choose between Daniel Bryan or CM Punk to debut first, I would probably have Daniel Bryan first.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because if you put CM Punk right now, things might get a little hectic. It all depends on if CM Punk is like, yeah, I think this is a good idea, we can do it, or if he's like, no, this is stupid, I don't want to do that.
That's just the impression that I get from him. I don't know.
He can be a bit picky, which is one of the reasons why he walked out of the WWE in 2014, I believe. I don't even remember. Well, there was the pipe bomb, too, that CM Punk had, which was probably the biggest moment of his career.
Yeah. I actually went back and rewatched that earlier today.
It was the thing is, with the pipe bomb, it was half scripted, half not. They knew that CM Punk was going to do a pipe bomb. They just didn't know what he was going to say, which is one of the reasons why they cut his mic off during the pipe bomb.
Right.
They just didn't know what Punk was going to say, and as soon as he said that stuff about WWE, that's when they were like, "All right, cut his mic off. We don't want to hear this anymore." And it's also a key point to what made CM Punk what he is.
It is, and you need people that are able to do that are able to kind of go on their own, come up with their own stuff that's believable.
Yeah. CM Punk, yeah. It just depends on whatever it is that they're going to do with him. They just need to figure out what it is.
And they need to do that, I think, well ahead of time and have it well planned as far as how they're going to get there.
Yeah. I feel like they're really going to want to think about what they want to do with CM Punk before they actually sign with him.
Right.
Because they don't know they probably don't know what to do with Punk yet, so they need to think about what ideas to pitch to him and see if he'll go along with them or just not do it.
And you need to know ahead of time whether or not he's willing to do certain things. Because you can't sign him and find out that, no, I'm just not going to do that, and then what do you have? What do you...
Yeah, because we know Punk's going to be like, if he doesn't want to do it, then he's not going to do it.
Right.
If he doesn't like what he's doing, he's going to leave. He'll probably just walk out again. For any other wrestling promotion that he goes to, even if it's the indies like Ring of Honor or Evolve.
Absolutely.
Any wrestling promotion. It could literally happen. It doesn't just have to be WWE or AEW. It can literally be anything. And that's why I feel like you would sign Daniel Bryan first, because I feel like he's more okay with whatever the creative in AEW was planning on.
Well,
like he's more open to it.
I feel like he would be a better one to pitch ideas to them, you know? Because that's part of it, too. I mean, part of it's creative, but part of it is some of the superstars themselves. Well, what if we did this? Pitching ideas to the creative team.
Yeah, that's how some of the superstars in WWE are successful. Like Aleister Black, even Nikki Cross, they even pitched their ideas, and that ended up working out. It worked out very well for Nikki. She's now the Raw Women's Champion because of her character.
And that was totally an idea that, from what I understand, that she brought to Vince. That was completely her idea.
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, I really like what Nikki's going on right now. I actually kind of predicted her to win Money in the Bank. I actually kind of predicted Rebecca to win Money in the Bank. Or Nikki to win Money in the Bank. And she ended up winning it, and she ended up cashing in, and she became the champion.
I think that's going to set up something very interesting, though, between her and Charlotte. I actually kind of like that, because that will be different than what we've been seeing.
Yeah. So many people are hating Nikki's character, but I actually like it.
I don't. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. Aled's back. We were talking about Nikki's character and how people were hating it, but we think it's actually good.
Oh, like Peyton over here.
Yeah, Mr. Cashman over here. We were talking about how Nikki's character has actually been pretty good.
Fuck it. I don't care.
It's her creation, it's not a WWE one, that's the thing.
Listen, I don't care if I'm sick or not. I will literally come here and say I hate Nikki Cross's character. That's all.
For what? For what? Is there an explanation?
Okay, first of all, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. There's gonna be another segment called Thomas Always Wins on Arguments Against Cash. Here's the thing, though. Peyton, your opinion does not even count on this, because first of all, you don't even have a fucking reason of why Nikki Cross's character sucks. Nikki Cross's character has been good. Last time there's a almost superhero gimmick was back at the Indies. So do you think the indie scene for Cross, do you think it's horrible than WWE? I don't think so. Because of this, Nikki Ash as champion makes sense. Charlotte, Rebecca, go ahead. No, before I say anything else.
You're good.
Okay. Where was I? Argue at me all you want, Cash, but the matter of the fact is I always win this argument. Nick Cash's character is doing so well, and and you hear me for the predictions here at this point. I said it's too early for Nikki Ash to get Money in the Bank. I'm wrong. So there you go. I admit my mistake. And Nikki Ash, with Nikki Ash won the Raw Women's title. It's a huge peak in the Raw Women's mountain. a
It is.
superhero, a superhero gimmick always climbs to the top of the peak of the Raw Women's Division mountain. You tell me that character sucks. That doesn't change the fact WWE just make Nikki Ash's character more superior, more exciting for the fans and even the kids, and even more doing well just for her. Her old character, the crazy one at Sanity, doesn't cut it. It leads to nowhere. The almost superhero gimmick works for Cross. It works. Period.
I really liked the way that she won it, kind of climbing over everybody, and they weren't even expecting her to do that.
It's a perfect underdog story.
I was literally saying that in the predictions. That's why I picked Nikki as my wild
The
card.
reason I think it's working so well, though, is because it's her creation. WWE didn't give that to her. She
Right.
gave it to herself.
That's the way it kind of has to be, not forced.
Oleg got a pointer. Nikki fucking Cross made that gimmick. Made the superhero gimmick, not WWE. She started that superhero gimmick back in where she was in the indie scene. So technically, if that gimmick works for Cross, it works for the WWE, it works for the indies. You tell me it sucks, you just zip the lip, throw the zipper back at the Pacific Ocean where it belongs, and just sit down and watch the magic happen for Nikki Ash as Women's Champion with the gimmick that it should be one of the best self-made gimmicks in her freaking wrestling career. Period.
There's a reason we call Thomas Noble the Rant King. There you go.
Well, I think with Aled's point of that being her idea, I think that's why when they tried to turn Jon Moxley heel when he was still in WWE, it didn't work because it was just being forced. It wasn't that he didn't want to be heel; they just weren't letting him do it the way he wanted, and that's, I think, why that never worked.
Yeah, when Moxley turned heel, he pretty much kind of became a joke.
Right.
That was the thing. They didn't make him seem like this very valuable person. They just made him goofy, pretty much.
Yeah.
This gimmick where they have these guys coming in, like, what is that horrible smell? That just didn't work at all.
No.
That's why Jon Moxley wasn't happy at the time.
Right. You could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't even work at all. But compare that to Nikki's new character that she made. Her character is better than Moxley's character from WWE. You tell me I'm wrong, I will just tell you to just sit your ass down in that crib, and I'll fill you with a baby bottle so you'll just listen to me.
I honestly would agree with that. I think that Nikki Cross has a better character than what Moxley had.
Yes, and that's totally down to the fact that it is her idea. It is. It's
just
not
having,
something that's forced
just
on
having
her.
Ambrose be known as the lunatic fringe, that just didn't seem right.
Right.
It did not seem like it would fit him at all.
Okay, give me just a second. I will be right back.
No worries. Thomas.
Yes.
Kind of like what they did with Nikki Cross. If there was another superstar in WWE you look at that had a different character in the indie scene, do you think it would work a lot better if they brought that indie character to WWE with them right now? Kind of like with Nikki?
The answer is yes. If that could work, if you can carry your indie character to WWE to bring back the indie character to life, it will make things better. like in
Is
this.
there a specific superstar you think it would work for them?
What are we talking about?
We pretty much led on to this after the Nikki character, like her bringing her indie character to WWE and how it made her career better in WWE, and like seeing if there's some other superstars in WWE that could probably do the same thing and could potentially have the same result.
The thing though, not everyone has that creative freedom because WWE always have like a plan and a name for them. Yeah, like
Yeah,
the only lucky people who got to keep their names really were Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Finn Balor. You know,
they got to keep
Shinsuke.
Shotzi's name for a little bit until they got rid of the surname.
Yeah, I don't think indie characters will work in WWE. That's just my personal opinion because it's a whole different place and you need to reintroduce yourself to a new, different audience. But with
Mhm.
Right.
Nikki, it does work. I don't know why.
It worked for Nikki. I was behind Nikki ever since like she brought it back because I understood the message that she was trying to deliver.
Yeah,
And
I
I
don't
feel
care.
like it's
Like, I don't
important to the
care.
wrestling business.
Okay, I agree with you, and I don't care what Payne says. I don't care what his stupid brain says here. Her character works, and the Red King always beats a guy who disagrees.
Well,
Now,
F you too, Noble.
see, this is now where we're gonna like disagree because her character does work now, but with her almost being a superhero, there's only so many ways and so far you can take that gimmick.
Right.
It's not going to last forever.
She's gonna
Right.
have to go back to her old self at some point
Mm-hmm.
because this isn't. She's probably gonna win the title. Well, she has won the title. She's gonna have maybe a short title reign,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
probably going to be a very short title reign. She'll
I
probably
think
either lose it to
after the
Charlotte
title
or maybe
reign,
a returning back.
Becky, but after the title reign, I genuinely think she'll go back to her old self. I think this was to just give her the underdog story that she deserves. You know.
Yeah,
Right.
because so many people were behind Nikki, even though she wasn't even on TV at the time.
It's literally like I heard you talking about John Moxley. I think John Moxley wouldn't work in WWE, but Dean Ambrose would work in AEW.
It's the other way around, pretty much.
It's because John Moxley is more of a hardcore person and WWE's TV 14.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that wouldn't work.
John Moxley
But
would be
Dean-
much better in WWE, in my opinion.
No, I don't think that would work in WWE. That's what I'm saying. John Moxley wouldn't work in WWE.
Oh,
Because
I
John
don't
Moxley...
think I don't think they would let him do half of the stuff.
Exactly, that's what I'm
That
saying.
makes the character
Yeah.
work.
Because as Dean Ambrose, yes, he was a lunatic fringe, but as John Moxley, he's like hardcore, like death matches and all that kind of stuff. So John
Right.
Moxley in WWE doesn't work. But Dean Ambrose in AEW, that would work.
It
yeah,
would.
Dean Ambrose in
basically just-
WWE,
It's just
it would be
Dean
alright.
Dean Ambrose in AEW would work because it's just everything he did in WWE, he just take to AEW and he gets to do it, you know?
Yeah,
I think he would be given more freedom with
Yeah.
that character. It would make it work better.
yeah.
But I don't think John Moxley would ever work in WWE unless
Yeah.
they got rid of the PG era, which they're
Yeah,
not
that's
going
the
to.
thing. In AEW, you have a lot more freedom to do what you want to do. WWE, they basically mainly just do whatever they pitch to you.
And I think
No.
that's the biggest issue. He would need more freedom.
Well, I mean, sometimes WWE would let you do your stuff, but most of the time they would be
He
pitching
would
it to
need
you.
more freedom, but the biggest thing is WWE's PG. AEW isn't.
Right.
Yeah, it
That's
depends.
why.
A big factor is the audience age. That's a huge factor.
Because WWE is really for kids, mostly.
Yeah,
AEW is for mostly adults, but for everyone, really.
you can thank John Cena.
He is over there. Can't see him, but he is over there.
Yeah, I can't see him.
But no, you genuinely can't either because it's really dark.
It's very dark.
Hang on. I'll fix this. Tell me if you can see him now, okay? You still can't see him.
No,
Like over there.
no, I don't. I still don't see him.
I still don't see him.
See, he's
I
magical.
can't see him.
He's magical.
Oh God! But yeah, I think we might be coming to an end here. It's like been an hour.
Yeah,
So
we've
back
just
onto
about hit
CM
the hour
Punk.
mark at this
Going
point.
back to the CM Punk Daniel Bryan thing for the last couple of minutes. Do you think both will happen?
56 minutes.
Do you think both will happen, and do you want both to happen?
CM Punk, I don't think it'll happen, and I'm not sure if I do want it to happen. Daniel Bryan, it's probably gonna happen, but I honestly wouldn't care.
Okay.
Well, to me, Daniel Bryan might happen, and CM Punk, I disagree with you, Ross. The Punk signing to AEW might happen in the near future.
I mean, it could happen, it could not. All we
Yeah,
know
but-
right now is that he's possibly in talks with both companies.
I would say Daniel Bryan before CM Punk. I think it would take too much to get him to sign.
Do you have any opinion on this?
Me?
Yeah. Do you know what the question was?
Yeah, I know. I heard it. If both of them get happen to AEW, that'll be pretty huge for the company. But
Yeah, but do you think both will happen?
probably at different times.
Yeah.
In my
I'm
opinion.
gonna go with. I think Daniel Bryan's probably a certainty right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CM Punk could happen, but like Rebecca said, it's gonna take so much to get him to sign. So it might happen, but it's not gonna happen anytime soon.
True.
No.
Well, with that being said, that hereby ends up today's episode of the Wrestling Art Podcast. I'd like to thank Miss Rebecca Helfers for joining us here today.
Thank you.
It was great to
Thank
be
you,
here.
Rebecca.
And hopefully everyone has had a great time listening to the boys and Rebecca talking while I was muted, resting my voice because I am hella sick. So please,
Also, thank you, Vega, for appearing for like 5 minutes.
yes, thank
He
you
was just here
for
for 5 minutes and then went.
thank you for being here for 5
I
minutes.
mean, it's a shame.
Everyone, please spam in the chat. Save pain for fuck's sake because I'm dying.
No, they only
No,
do
that
that when
belongs
I'm
to a lad.
dying.
That belongs to
Yeah,
a
they
lad.
only do that when I'm dying.
What about for me?
They
Hopefully
can
you
say,
soon.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Peyton,
see?
get better.
yeah, we hope you get better, Peyton.
Thanks.
These are out in the chat.
Hashtag, hey, Peyton, get better.
Yeah.
Thanks, because I am completely. I.
There we go. Thomas Noble
Hashtag
just went,
save
hashtag save
Princess
Princess Cash.
Fuck you, Noble. F you, Noble. Of course. Alright, everyone.
No, but like, genuinely, I hope by next week.
Yeah, genuinely get better, Peyton.
Thanks. But thank you to Anchor for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. The only easiest way to get your podcast for free, go to anchor.fm to get started with your free podcast. No fees, no bullcrap. To get started with your own podcast for free and get started with monetization. But until then, everyone, make sure you like the video, comment down below, subscribe to us always, and make sure you ring that bell for more content from us. Hopefully I'll be better by Sunday for the wrestling roundup. If not, then I don't know, man. I'm dying. Save me for heck's sake. Go follow our Twitter. Go follow our separate channels. Go subscribe to even go subscribe to Rebecca's channel. It's down below as well. Go listen to our podcast on Spotify and all the other podcast groups that'll be in the description shortly. But which I'll put that soon. But until then, everyone, for Led, Ross, Noble, and our guest Rebecca, this has been Paincasting. What's best with the best in life. Not trust one out. Wrestle Arc out.
Peace, guys.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Peace.
growing up ain't easy. Too many things to do weekly. Too many thoughts to think deeply. Too many thoughts to be sleeping. Yeah, oh my god, I'm not eating. I feel so empty, I'm receding. And all of my friends are misleading. All of these posts and the lives they're leading. Yeah, oh, no way, I ain't gonna stand for this today. I'ma keep my head down, I'm okay. I don't wanna listen to a word they say. And we all know fear is a slogan, yeah. And we all feel broken, yeah. And we all outspoken. Need someone who could just so sometimes I struggle in this place. Been in circles several days, never knowing the right way. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle in this place. People look the other way, and we all deal with our pain. Oh yeah. No, I'm not down, no, I'm not out. If I got a voice, they gon' hear me shout.